Days of Our Lives spoilers point out that Kristen DiMera's big sacrifice may not be the noble act she thinks it is. On the surface, Kristen's false confession looks like a selfless way to protect Rachel Black, but when you dig a little deeper, it's actually filled with problems that could make everything worse. Let's break down 4 major reasons why Kristen's decision is a terrible idea. First, there's Rachel's emotional reaction to consider. This little girl has already been through the ringer. She hated taking the stand and being dragged into a courtroom to testify, and the thought of her words sending Johnny DiMera to prison terrified her. Now, Kristen's sudden move changes everything. By signing a statement and claiming she was the one who shot E.J. DiMera, Kristen is rewriting the story in a way that's going to devastate her daughter. Rachel will be confused, hurt, and furious. Think about it. Kristen is basically saying she pulled the trigger and then forced her daughter to testify, nearly letting Johnny take the blame. From Rachel's perspective, this feels like the ultimate betrayal. Instead of easing her fears, Kristen's confession makes Rachel think her mom has been lying and manipulating her the entire time. Rachel won't understand why her mother would sit back and almost let Johnny go to prison for something she supposedly did. This creates even more trauma and damages the fragile bond between mother and daughter. The second problem is another painful separation. Rachel may lash out at Kristen in anger when she first hears the news, but deep down, she still loves her mom. No matter how mad she gets, Kristen is her mother, and Rachel needs her. Days spoilers suggest this could lead to yet another prison stint for Kristen, and that means Rachel will lose the one person she leans on most. Every time Kristen is taken away, Rachel spirals. The meltdowns become more severe, the emotional scars run deeper, and the cycle of instability just continues. By making this sacrifice, Kristen thinks she's shielding Rachel, but what she's really doing is guaranteeing her daughter more heartache. Rachel doesn't want her mom locked up, she wants her mom by her side. The third reason Kristen's move is a mistake is that the truth is destined to come out anyway. Marlena Evans has already admitted that she can't be certain Rachel's memories of the shooting will ever return. But this is Salem. We all know the truth never stays buried forever. Days spoilers say Rachel's memory will eventually flood back for the sake of drama, and when it does, Kristen's sacrifice will be meaningless. That's the cruel irony here. Kristen is trying to take the weight off her daughter's shoulders, but in reality, she's just postponing the inevitable. Rachel is going to remember that she accidentally fired at E.J. herself, and when that realization hits, the fallout will be brutal. Kristen's lie won't erase Rachel's guilt. It will only make it worse when the memories resurface. And that brings us to the fourth and final reason this is such a dangerous plan. Once Rachel recalls the truth, she'll also realize Kristen took the fall to protect her. At first, that might sound like a noble act. But for a child already struggling under the pressure of trauma and confusion, the guilt will be crushing. Imagine being in Rachel's shoes. Not only will she have to live with the knowledge that she shot E.J., but she'll also have to deal with the fact that her mother confessed to it and endured punishment on her behalf. That's a heavy emotional burden for anyone, let alone a child. Kristen thinks she's sparing Rachel, but what she's really doing is piling on even more mental distress for the future. Marlena has already vowed to help her granddaughter work through this crisis, but Kristen's actions may only complicate the healing process. Instead of creating clarity and stability, Kristen is adding layers of lies, guilt, and separation. She means well, but every move she's making has the potential to backfire. When you put all 4 reasons together, it's clear the sacrifice is more about Kristen's need to control the situation than what's truly best for her daughter. By lying to the authorities, she's deepening Rachel's confusion, risking another painful separation, delaying the inevitable truth, and setting Rachel up for even heavier guilt later on. Days of Our Lives spoilers hint that this plan will unravel in dramatic fashion. Rachel's memory will eventually return, Kristen will face exposure for her false confession, and the family will be left to pick up the pieces of even more chaos. Kristen wanted to be selfless, but in true DiMera fashion, her actions are bound to cause more harm than good.